Yes, my name's Andrew Whitwell, the Commercial Manager on the project. I think Rob really introduced the Downer business well at the start of the presentation. Downer's been traditionally known as a utilities-focused business, but what's really happened in recent years is that we've expanded and grown to be able to design, build and maintain public and private infrastructure and facilities, particularly with now the majority ownership of the Spotless company. Our focus is in Australia and New Zealand, and we do employ 53,000 people, which is a significant amount. We have many sites also around the world too. Rather than going into more detail, I think what's really important is discussing what our motto is, which is relationships creating success, which you would have seen throughout the slides. In regards to the delivery of our work, the supply chain is absolutely critical in being able to provide our client a successful project. We can't do it without you, and we can't do it without having successful relationships working together for a best for project outcome. On the Walloo project, new area for us, we really want to create these long-lasting relationships that can push us on to the next specialised area of work. What's really important, and Amin went through it, is it's such a multidisciplined job. We're from painting to pushing dirt around the place. We're doing absolutely everything. We're installing lifts. So this is great that we're going to have such a wide range of suppliers on our project. We've identified around 160 packages. So there is lots of scope for the supply chain out there. What's critical that Josh mentioned is that the project is federally funded and compliance with the building code of 2016. I can't stress enough how it is critical that we are compliant with the code ourselves and also all our suppliers involved in the project. I'll pass over to hopefully meeting some of you in better times, and really hope that we can get a strong, solid project that's completed on time and on budget for our client. Thank you.
Hi everyone. My name is Jay Miranda. I am the procurement manager or lead for the Geelong Warrnambool Line upgrade project. You would have all had some sort of contact with me electronically over the past few weeks, mainly through our expression of interest. And I thank all of you today for attending this briefing. I guess for me today is to give you guys a snapshot of page 37 of the slide, which is our high-level procurement process for the Warrnambool Line upgrade project. We have a 5-stage process that we follow, of which stage 1 is already completed, which is the expression of interest that you guys would have all, I guess, been part of, or majority of you guys here that's listening today. Obviously, in this stage, it was really all about generating that buzz and really giving the local communities the opportunities to be involved in our project. Downer, as a business, has an extensive network of suppliers and contractors. We have approximately 4,000 to 5,000, and that's without including Spotless. And part of this project, in line with the local jobs policies, we wanted to make sure that the local communities are involved, and that's why this expression of interest went out to as many trade associations, local communities, social enterprises that we can get a hold of, because we really want to make sure that you guys get every opportunity to be part of the process. And in the expression of interest, obviously, we, as Josh and Andrew mentioned, because of the federally funded government-funded project, we had to make sure that everyone that's involved are also going to have to be capable of being compliant or already compliant to the Building Code 2016. The next stage of our procurement process is the RFQ stage, and in this stage is really where we all collaborate as a whole, as a team. We identify who we want to approach based on the expression of interest that we received, obviously, as a main point, but we also use, other contacts within the region as well that we can utilize. In this stage, this is where we create our tender packs, pretty much. This is where we collaborate with the MINS team, for construction team, the project manager team to develop the scope and the delivery schedules of the projects. This is where we also collaborate with Josh and Ross to make sure that we meet all the industrial relations, ABCC requirements, as well as any other specific sustainability requirements that we have as part of the project. Our RFQs are generally sent out through our team binder portal, which is a document control portal for us. It allows us to make sure that everyone that we intend to reach the tender to gets the tender. As you know, with emails, sometimes you get bounced back due to the size. So that's really why we make sure we do it through that portal. However, we still make an effort to obviously catch up with you, make sure that you receive that via email. Our next phase is where we evaluate your tenders as well as our tender period. It's a standard evaluation and standard RFQ process period. Basically, we hold site visits if required. If you guys need to be on site to finalize or make sure that everything is according to spec, we give you every opportunity to have a question and answer session with our team. I am the procurement manager in this process, but I'm only facilitating that process with the team in itself. Our MINS team, the project team, they're the one that's really driving this. They know what they need from a scope and spec point of view, and I'm just making sure that the process is followed. In this phase as well, is where we assess your tender submissions once we received it. We've developed, or we will be developing, a scoring matrix. And as Rob mentioned from the very beginning of the project, we're after commercial value, and commercial value is not just about cost. And our scoring matrix will involve a cost factor, but it will also include sustainability and all the other important things like compliance to the codes, compliance to industrial relations requirements as part of our pre-qual. The next 2 points, I guess, or the next 2 high-level stages that we have is just, I'll just touch on to them very quickly. It's pretty much contract execution is just formalizing our agreement. As part of our tender pack, we will be giving you guys bespoke agreements that are project specific to the Waurn line upgrade project. So, some of you may have worked with Downer before and may have seen, different supply agreements before. However, we will be using a Waurn line upgrade project specific agreement for this project. It's just how it is. It's bespoke to the project in itself. In this phase, I guess it's all about formalizing that agreement. And I guess it sounds like we're giving you a lot of information during the tender phase. And in some cases, you might think it's overkill, but really it's all about trying to smooth it out and transitioning into the mobilization phase. Usually where we struggle as a business, or in general, the procurement process is in this stage where we're all kind of trying to get all the remaining documents that we need. However, if we've done that at the start, we can have all of that readily available, and therefore we can just move on straight into the mobilization phase. So bear with us, although it might look like there's a lot of information that we're after, there's a reason for that madness. It's because we want to make sure that once we get to the contract execution phase, we don't get bogged down by documents, and therefore we then slide it straight into the mobilization phase. And as the title stated in itself, really the mobilization phase is just where I hand you guys over to Amin's teams and his more than capable team's hands, and that's where we really focus on having the mobilization plan in place and I guess handing over and making sure that we deliver the project in scope and in time. So again, thank you everyone for taking the time today to join us for this webinar, because we really think that it's a very useful tool for you guys to understand about the project. And I've been communicating with you guys very high level, and I hope today gave you a bit more insight in terms of what the project is about. So thank you very much.
Okay, so I thank Andrew and Jay there for the commercial section of it. That brings us really to the end of the webinar. I think there was some votes of thanks already started, but we've just been on air for about an hour and a half. There's around 500 people on the webinar, which has really taken me by surprise in terms of the level of interest. But actually, if I actually dig deep enough and start thinking about it, it's actually such an exciting opportunity here. Why not? But I do look forward to having the opportunity to work with the supply chain to meet the needs of the project and the client. And obviously, we talked a lot about legacy into the community. So once again, thank you. As we close now, just to remind you again, we're not going to take any questions at the moment, purely on the level of questioning that we've got and the amount of detail that's in there. What I do implore you to do is take the opportunity now to go and talk to my team, to the subject matter experts. Even take time to speak to myself and Liam as well if you're unsure of whether this suits you, whether it's what you require, whether we've done a good job or whether we've left something on the table that you need to know. There's 4 rooms there available for you. Please make use for them. And I look forward to working with all of you, some of you, in the very real near future. Thanks very much. Thank you.